Felix with the super chat says, "Love your work. I have a memory of you wanting to do a video on AFL's effect on cricket. Are there any plans to make that happen in the future?" So I've got Felix on my whiteboard here just for this summer. 28 video ideas. I have in my notebook probably another 40 to 50 ideas. That's not even including this. I'm not even sure if this one that you're right, which I have wanted to do before and will do one day. It's another one that is, it's always there, but not necessarily. I don't think I've got notes for it, or I've started to, do a flow chart for it, or anything like that, or any brainstorming. So, yes, I would like to do it. When I will do it, I don't know. I think it's a fascinating topic. I think the professionalism of cricket really comes from Australia, and that really comes from a combination of the Olympic movement and Aussie rules football. The head of cricket, the Cricket Australia or the Australian Cricket Board at that time were based right next to, where the footy was being played. There's a lot of overflow there. I think in general, Australian cricket is influenced by Aussie rules football, which is, I think cricket is played as more of a team sport in Australia than it is in other countries, partly because of the combination there. Plus, of course, Aussie rules football was invented to actually give cricketers something to do in the winter themselves. There's the Indigenous angle as well, which is really, really interesting, which, of course, the first Indigenous team that was supposed to tour England that never quite made it was being run by the guy who would go on to invent, or codify Aussie rules football. So there's so many things there. Plus, I've talked about this a lot, the final structure and everything else. A lot of, cricket.com.au, again, is very much taken from that AFL type style. So there's all these little things there. This piece came. I probably won't do it this summer just because there's going to be so much going on. We haven't even talked about the fact that Shane Warne, Simon O'Donnell, Jamie Siddons, Max Walker, Keith Miller. I'm missing a bunch, but they all played professional football and obviously top level cricket at times. So yeah, there's those sorts of overlaps as well. So it is a very, very interesting. But yeah, I think this summer might be a good one. There'll be so many Australians around for the Ashes. I had a great chat years ago with David Saker about this, actually, where we were actually going through. I can't remember when this was. It was certainly when he was bowling coach of England, and he was at the back of the press box, and he heard me talking about footy, and he came over, and we were going through all the players and the reputations they had as cricketers. So as football players or as cricketers. So Ricky Ponting was one that obviously was thought to be a very good footballer. Matthew Wade probably becomes a professional footballer if it wasn't for the fact that he got cancer. Then you've got the other side. Mitchell Marsh could have gone in Aussie rules football, all played cricket. And then you've got people like Jonathan Brown. I want to say Jonathan Brown was a big left-arm fast bowler, but he was certainly a fast bowler, I think. Luke Hodge was another one. There's all these players that had these reputations that are thought of as being very good cricketers. And in fact, Felix, I played indoor cricket against Lance Whitnell once. And he, off about 5 paces, he was very, very quick. I don't think he would have been a bowler, and he smashed me everywhere when he was batting. In fact, I've played not professional. I played amateur sport against Lance Whitnell twice, and he's absolutely tailed me up. So more than happy to never go up against him in any sport ever again. But so there's that angle as well. There's also a very, very interesting one, which is Slug Jordan, the sort of famous underage football coach who was a Victorian wicketkeeper for a very long time, and one of Ian Chappell's least favorite people. But it's a great topic, and as you can just tell from the last couple of minutes, I've got a lot to say about it, and there's certainly a lot out there. And I don't think that many people certainly outside of Melbourne or Adelaide or Western Australia or Tasmania really understand. If you follow cricket, sometimes you do see things come up, and you're like, oh, I see where this has come from. And it does happen more often than not. And of course, my favorite one, of course, is the IPL final system.